Okay guys, I'm doing this video really quickly. As you can tell, I'm in this setup. I've been kind of streaming and writing at the same time, and then also I have to do Tales from the Basement this week. I was DMing and I'm going to do that video separately. I don't actually know if I want to go back to the green screen at the moment. I haven't had any comments about it. However, talking about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything on live stream on the Twitch channel, you can see by clicking on my channel, it's up in the upper right next to the Twitter. That actually worked out pretty well. So we're going to talk again about it today, and we're just going to do the top 10 things that I enjoyed from this document leak and what I'm really looking forward from Tasha's book. I'm doing this really fast for people that don't want to watch the 2-hour video, and I figure I got a few minutes to blow before I actually record. Tales from the Basement, you can click on the podcast or the playlist either in the annotations or on like one of the corners of the screen. I'll set it up for you. So the first things first is, I said this on stream, was the Artificer being a legal class in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So for some reason, in the Eberron release, there's a little paragraph that says that, you know, artificers can exist in the Forgotten Realms on this particular island or anywhere in the, you know, Forgotten Realms, but for some reason, purists of Adventure League rulings or just sticking to the code just would argue constantly over the fact that the Artificer wasn't an illegal book like Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica and Theros. Those aren't actual legal books because they're just expansions on different worlds. They're not actually part of the Forgotten Realms, even though they made the exception with that one paragraph that artificers are allowed even if it's not an Eberron type story. So if you wanted to play it in Forgotten Realms, here was your reasoning to how. So it being in Tasha's is a great move because it helps people to be able to play a really awesome class. I enjoy playing the class. I'm currently still playing the class as a subclass. It works better as a subclass. I've come to realize if you're a spellcaster, it's not really good as your main class unless you want to like subclass it as something else, but you'd probably end up picking up more levels in the subclass more than the Artificer class. Artificer I think is probably good up until maybe level 7 from how many times I've played it. So right now I'm just playing it as, if you've been watching the Tyrians of Dragons Tales from the Basement, it has been pretty much my go-to class for my Outback Mage. It's been a subclass that has been very beneficial for me. The next one on the list is the Rune Knight Fighter. I do like the reasoning behind the class, and I wouldn't mind picking it up or maybe having it as an option. Basically, I find it to be very interesting as it deals with mostly giants, and it reminds me of some Viking lore stuff. You kind of just tap into some powers through some runes. Usually it seems to like lean heavily on like Nordic rune stuff, hence why I kind of feel like it's good Viking slash Odin, Thor and stuff. That's kind of why I'm leaning more onto that. I do like how it appeals to me with that, so that's kind of my go-to for it. The next one on the list, I think if I didn't say it, someone would get mad because everybody is hyped up for it, is the Way of the Astral Plane Monk, Astral Self, aka the JoJo Bizarre Adventure Monk. I thought this thing was broken in UA, however from reports from the leak it seems like they kind of nerfed it a little bit. He used to have a 10-foot reach with his astral arms. They went down to 5, so it seems to be very close quarter. However, I can't really comment much on it. If I didn't add this onto the list, I feel like somebody would get mad because everybody likes the idea that this big ginormous like astral self can like join you in combat, and I don't even think it spends a key point for doing that either. It's just like an additional like reach basically, or special like you can do attacks with it and all that. The next one on the list that I actually thought was interesting and I would love to see more of, is going to be the new beast companions for the ranger. Even though the beast companion system I always found weird. I've made some exceptions to the rule for my homebrew, where in the actual book they only let you use like a quarter or a half CR, so you can pretty much get like a badger as your pet, and that would be it. But you couldn't get like a bear, and I know a couple people, especially like the Critical Role people, would want a bear. I would prefer like maybe a cobalt if I'm crazy, or something else. But for me, just to be able to distinguish 3 types of companions, one from land, one from sky, one from sea, instead of just, hey, pick a CR creature, like a half or a quarter. Okay, well, what can I possibly want? This kind of like narrows it down, and I'm hoping when the book comes out, there's literally just a section called Beast of Land, and it says these are the companions you can pull from. If they do it like that, that would work out fine, instead of me just going, okay, honey badger, I guess a dog, I don't know at all. The other 2 things for Ranger was Swarmkeeper. I'm excited to see, because I thought it was a ridiculous subclass, or whatever you would call it for it. I think it's class, because it's a Ranger specialty or whatever. I'm so tired because I've been working constantly. I just like how the fact that you could basically have like a swarm of bees attack for a turn, or bonus action have them attack or create a shield or something like that. It just seemed too ridiculous, so I wanted to always make a beekeeper as this kind of class. But now it being legal, I can actually make it and pretty much make it funny. I think you could probably either do maybe a ranger subclass druid to even like really stick it at home that you're just a druid with bugs, or you could probably just go full in and just be a beekeeper, like a ranger fighter beekeeper. Fey Wanderer, I think people that enjoy the Fey are gonna like it, but I'm not gonna really like it. I added it on the list because again, if I didn't bring it up, I think people would get mad. I personally don't like the Fey, and I get why. I'm not like David Jappy where he absolutely hates it, but I don't see the point in having favoritism for them, I guess. I mean, I don't like them. Some people like using them. I digress. Next one on the list, number 6, is going to be Blade Singer, getting available for all races instead of just the elf race. I've never noticed it because I had just picked it up, I think, I didn't pick it up for Dimitri. I know I could pick it up for Duke in the Tyrion of Dragon campaign. However, I've never really experimented with elves or half elves. I've been just stuck as a generic human, or really crazy race like Dragonborn. I would say would be crazy race. Bugbear would be crazy because of Smokey. What would be another one I have? No, Gnome wouldn't count because Gnome would be normal. Any which way. Warforged, I guess, would be a crazier one too. But I really haven't played Warforged. I think I played it once and that was it. But again, having it available to be Blade Singer for any wizard type class, that's great. The other one I added on here just for the heck of it was I like the fact that we're getting rewritten or reprinted Booming Blade and Green Blade. But I think they're rewritten because the wording for at least Booming Blade, because I've learned that during the Murder House campaign we did for Halloween. The wording's weird, but I think the wording they have it now is you just say that you're going to do it, and if you hit, it's going off, instead of you have to hit and then say you're going to do it. Because there's no actual cast time, it just happens when you say that you want to do it. So now you have to initiate that you're doing this on top of your attack. I haven't read Green Flame Blade. I definitely, after Booming Blade, want to try it. But as of right now, the wording in Booming Blade was confusing enough. So I think they're rewording it, not retooling it. They could be retooling it, but again, I digress. Does that actually even mean like Booming Blade or Green Flame Blade changing? Because that'd be interesting just to see like the original version being removed and then the newer one just placing over it. Number 5, I put this in the middle because I think everybody is excited for it, is going to be the new Lineage System. Of course, new Lineage System, I thought was going to be more like Pathfinder, where you can basically remove stuff and import in certain things from other races. I think Nerd Immersion had brought it up. It would be kind of interesting to see humans with dark vision, kind of a deal. This kind of focuses more on trading out racial feats for certain things, not tying certain things to certain races, so certain benefits from being like a half-elf or high-elf or a dwarf, you can technically almost get proficiency, weapons, tools, and all that. You can actually trade. If you don't want your character to be highly proficient in tools, you can trade them out and gain simple weapons. I don't think you can get a martial weapon from tools. I know you can trade. I know for a fact from the chart you can trade tools for tools, simple for simple, martial for all three if you wanted to go down. But you can also go, I think, simple to tools and simple weapon, which I digress. If once the book comes out, I hope they go into a little bit more depth with the list to see what you can actually customize. Because, say for example, I'm not proficient in crossbows, but I would like to be proficient in crossbows, for example. That's what I'm kind of looking forward for. Number 4 is going to be the feats, the new feats that they're bringing in. The main ones I kind of like are going to be the Artificer Initiate. I'm hoping that gives you some Artificer stuff as a feat, so that you can actually like really like hone your craft as a crafter, aka like a mad scientist or a MacGyver like I am. Chef, because Chef would be just funny. I would probably make Chef Boyardee as a class, and just, or not a class, as a character, and just run with it. But we'll probably wait to even like do that one. I might do Smokies, just get it done out of the way, but I digress. I mean, if you guys want to know, let me know in the comments if you guys want me to show you how I made Smokey the Bear. I'm not gonna do it like Turok and just like have like a video in the background and then a nice chart. I'll actually go through D&D Beyond and show you how I do it. And Gunner got my attention because there are no guns in D&D, so how are they doing guns in D&D? Or are they saying like crossbow expert kind of a deal? Like I don't get it. However, I find that class to be very intriguing for me. Number 3 is going to be supernatural environments and hazards. In the PDF, they kind of said like a mirror dimension as an example, but as me, who was making hazard environments and crazy environments for my players to go through just for Dino Island, I'm thrilled to see it, to see if I can take any notes from it before I publish Dino Island. We're actually this close to doing it. I gotta finalize a couple things in the document or the PDF on Homebrewery, and then I'm gonna send it over to my editor, clean it up, and I'll have it posted for you guys. And I'm still debating on how to do it. At the same time, I'm also trying to get Krampus prepped to go, and that I know for a fact I'm making free. It's just a one-shot. It's going to be free on me. Number 2 is going to be the sidekicks. The sidekicks are being legal, I guess, because they were an Unearth the Arcana rule, and then they were published in the Essentials Kit, but they only were in the Essentials Kit for the Essentials Kit. They weren't allowed to go anywhere else. However, the wording on it still bothers me, where you have to basically lock it to a class. I do like the idea that you have to choose like a fighter or a spellcaster, and that's it. You can't do anything else. They act kind of like a pet, aka on your turn as a DM, you can basically have them do one action and that's it, or some type of a deal. I had never got to really use the sidekicks, even though I have the essential kit. But I find it to be like you can't like be. You're basically like the companion pets, but you don't get to hog the show like a DM PC. You basically are there to help the party if they're in need. And a lot of times, especially on the latest part of Tales of the Basement, I defaulted my character, because I was running it, I defaulted my character to an NPC status, and he was just there to help. And then, of course, when we get to the last part, at number 1 is going to be the book in general. I'm glad that we're getting a Xanathar's Guide to Everything 2, and it is changing up things a bit more. It's been about 5 years with 5th edition being out. I'm wondering if they're going to go 5 more and then do 6th edition, or they're going to just keep 5th edition going, because even though this is probably the most mainstream one, this one seems to be having new rules introduced, and a lot of erratas coming out and changing things as they go. So we might get to the point where they're just going to continuously change in erratas maybe, and that's about it. However, one thing I want to bring up real quick before I cut the video, because we're coming up to 15 minutes now. Rogue, Warlock, and puzzles I did not care about. I don't play Rogue or Warlock. I don't play them. I don't like them. Do I have interest in playing them? No. I would probably want to play them once to say I've tried them, but no interest. And that's giving a Paladin Cleric a run for their money, because I don't play those as well. Druid, haven't really played yet, but again, I digress. Puzzles, I'm not excited to see them, but I wouldn't mind reading about them. In which way, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Like, comment, subscribe, roll initiative in the next video, and let me know how you rolled. In the next video, it should be Tales from the Basement. I'm going to go directly over that and do that. Also, I'm streaming live on Twitch. So far, I'm getting it down to maybe every other Saturday. I'll be on either painting minis, which I've been doing, or writing DM's Go content. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm out of here.